Hi. So today I wanted to talk about Space Marine 2, the Warhammer 40k game that's coming out soon. And I wanted to talk about how very excited I am for this game. This is looking like it's going to be truly one of the first next gen games we've really gotten a chance to see. It's going to be, a co-op campaign, a cooperative post-campaign mode, and a 5v5 multiplayer mode all wrapped up together into one complete game. At least that's how they presented it, which feels like it's rare these days in the AAA game development, where they release a broken game and then 2 years down the line they kind of fix it and then the game's abandoned. I'm really hoping that Space Marine 2 builds on what happened in Space Marine 1 and really becomes a fantastic game. And speaking of Space Marine 1, this game is a continuation 100 years later after the original Space Marine. You play as the same main character, Titus, who's been demoted after his supposed heresy and now is reinstated, although with some restrictions, back into the warfront to fight for the Imperium of Man. So, one of the coolest things, though, about this game and the upcoming campaign mode is going to be that not only is it a single player experience, but they're finally bringing back the lost art, the lost beauty of co-op campaigns. It's going to be a three-player co-op game where, whoever hosts the server, whoever hosts the campaign will be Titus, the main character, and then he has two other Space Marine heroes, brothers in arms with him that you'll be able to play as. So that means that my friends and I, and your friends and you, can actually play through the story of this game together, which, I know with some other AAA games, they don't even have co-op at all anymore, or even make campaigns in the first place. So, that's making me very optimistic. Additionally, with this game, the amount of weapons and awesome technology they've shown off is really, really exciting. They're going to be using this engine that they used to build in their previous games, where, this is Saber Entertainment, the same company that worked on the World War Z zombie games. And we know that those zombie games had lots and lots, like hundreds and hundreds of enemies. And now, for this campaign, not only are there going to be incredible cutscenes, incredible in-game cinematics, but as you can see throughout this gameplay that they've revealed, there's going to be hundreds, maybe even up to thousands of enemies on screen fighting, rushing towards you, taking down Imperial Guardsmen all around, trying to overwhelm you from all sides. And so that swarm technology they've developed for those previous games is being implemented here in what I think is going to be in a phenomenal manner. Additionally, we got this really cool feature coming where you'll be able to customize your Space Marine in the other game modes. So I'm really looking forward to that. You can, put on armor of different chapters, paint it how you want, put on different helmets, equip different gear, play different classes. So I'm really looking forward to that. But talking more about the swarm tech here, we can see that all these enemies are going to be rendered and fighting all at the same time, and it's just going to be a glorious experience. When we're talking about the enemies that we might see in this game, we know that there's going to be Tyranids. They've shown off the Tyranids many times. Tyranids are the swarming insects. You can think of them like a version of the Flood from Halo, but even more insectoid and less putrid. Or, any one of those kind of hive, eat, destroy, consume enemies. They're really up there in the hive mind tech tree. But I think, from what we've seen in this gameplay trailer, is that there will be another faction. And what was interesting in the first game was it was mainly the orcs for the first portion of the game. You fought against the orcs, the greenskins, you were fighting your way through the Green Menace. And then chaos forces appeared, and the game ended where you were fighting a chaos boss. This game looks similar. In some of the clips of the gameplay that they've shown, there have been chaos enemies, like just as we had seen there for a moment when he dove down onto like some warp plane area. Those weren't Tyranids necessarily. I saw what looked like some Chaos Space Marines, some demons from the warp. So there's going to be more than just the Tyranid bug slaughter faction, which I enjoy. I want there to be an enemy that shoots back at you that, isn't just we're going to stab you over and over again. One of the coolest features that I've seen from the campaign, and I don't know if it'll be probably in the co-op, but maybe not the multiplayer, is that there's like a Doom-style glory kill with melees. And not only is it really awesome, they've tied it in as a gameplay aspect where you heal, you get health back when you perform those really awesome melee kills. So now we're going to take a look at the operations mode. This is going to be like the post-campaign replayability co-op mode where you're no longer necessarily playing as the main characters from the campaign. You're just playing, I think, as these different classes of Space Marines that you get to customize and equip with the weapons you want. You get to put the armor that you want, the heraldry, the paint, and you're going to be playing through basically replayable missions. I imagine there'll be randomized bosses, randomized enemies through a map that is probably similar to a campaign location that we fought through. And you're going to slaughter your way through these missions to get to the boss, get to the final objective, and succeed. And it looks like there's a progression system where completing these missions gets you XP that will turn into the ability to buy more cosmetics and more gear inside of the game. What I've heard is that there's not going to be microtransactions. I wouldn't mind if there were, because I want this game to be supported for a long time. So if there's microtransactions for different chapter armors, I wouldn't be annoyed by that, just not pay to win stuff. The next mode, and something that I wasn't expecting at all, is a Gears of War style 6v6 PvP mode. And just from this gameplay, like, it looks like a take on that style of third-person Gears of War gameplay where you got, 6 players versus 6 players duking it out in a melee, close-range, arena-style combat. They've said that there's going to be 3 different game modes. I imagine there's probably a TDM-style mode. Then there's going to be a more capture and defend mode like we see here. They're holding the point here. Maybe it's King of the Hill style. And then a third mode, which should be another, objective-based mode. But, we can see here that they have different weapons, different loadouts, different abilities, and it's going to be probably very team play oriented. So, that's a brief look at my excitement for Space Marine 2, and I think that you should be excited about this game as well, because everything they've shown is cool. Everything they've shown is making me optimistic, and the fact that the game was actually delayed to give it more time to cook, more time to produce, makes me feel like they will actually release a complete experience at launch. So, thank you for joining me. I think you should take a look at Space Marine 2 and add it to your wish list. Thank you. Bye.